today at the Reykjavik Open, right here on this table, a great game was played. It was my friend, international Master Bjorn Thorfinnsson. He was playing against Marcel Schroer. Now, Bjorn had the white pieces, and this game turned out to have a fantastic theme, a theme of domination. Now, let's check it out. Now, Bjorn opened with d4, as he tends to do. d5, knight f3, knight f6, and now bishop to g5. This is a line that Bjorn likes to play. Knight to e4, bishop to f4, and black plays c5. Bjorn continued with e3. Black took on d4 and played queen to b6. Already this is probably a small inaccuracy, as white can play knight c3, which Bjorn knows well. He's played this in tons of blitz games, and taking this pawn is probably very unhealthy on account of knight takes d5. So black played queen a5, but now he's moving the queen for the second time, moving the same piece twice, breaking some opening principles. Bjorn continued with the element, sacrificing the pawn on c3, but this means that the queen now has to move for the third time, and you move your knight from f6 to e4 just to trade it on c3. So a big cost for just one pawn. The bishop drops back to d2, now queen c7, and Bjorn gets castled. Now, of course, when you have such a lead in development, you want to break open the position, and that's what white does. He plays c4, black plays knight c6. Understandably, he wants to close the c-file for when white opens the c-file and puts a rook there, as white did. Rook to c1. And of course, black wants to get the castle. The e-file is also open, so bishop to e7. Knight e5, putting pressure on the knight. But black got castled. Rook e1. And now bishop d6. Trying to put pressure on the knight on e5. But here, Bjorn started to see the big idea. He plays queen c2. And this puts pressure on the pawn here on h7. So black played h6. But here, Bjorn saw an idea. And he had to see it before he took on c6. Otherwise, he might just be down a pawn. So he took the pawn here on c6. Pawn takes, and queen takes. So, we got back the pawn that we sacrificed. But black has the pawn on h2 with check. And it looks like he's going to escape from this up a pawn. Takes on c6, plays bishop e7, and very comfortably, the bishop is controlling the c7 square. So we can't attack the bishop. It looks like the rook must retreat. And me and my friend were doing the DGT, the live board here. And when we saw the move, rook e to c1, we thought, okay, this must be a transmission error. So we went to check the board. Well, my friend came back and he said, nope, he played rook e to c1. And rook e to c1 is in fact a brilliant move. And the computer agrees. Now, in the game, black played bishop b8, which is the best move. If he takes the rook, rook takes. Notice that this bishop doesn't have a lot of squares on this diagonal, full diagonal, but the only available square is on b8. And then we would simply play bishop to a6, and we win material because the bishop has no squares on the diagonal. So this is good for white. So in the game, he played bishop to b8, but having seen this idea, Bjorn was confident that he wanted to keep the bind, and he played bishop a6. And this is just a fantastic concept. Now, once again, if you take on c6, we simply transpose to the line we just looked at, which looks good for white. And black took on a6. Bishop takes a6. But now he's still having a hard time moving. Bishop has no square here. This is protected. This is protected. Everything is protected. And if you try to play g5, we play g3. And the fact of the matter is, black at some point needed to sacrifice the bishop for a pawn. So probably in the line where we took on c6, we should sacrifice the bishop on b8, at least get a pawn for it, and then suffer with white having the two bishops against the rook. A rook and two pawns, but white would have very good chances there. So we see the bishop is dominated. And this also means that this rook is not getting out. And the theme of this game is domination. And it's funny because, well, I believe Marcel, he might have gone on what we call the golden circle here in Iceland, where you check out the waterfalls and the geysers. So he went on the golden circle, but he came back to play, and he got to see the golden domination. Now look at this. Of course, black played rook d8. He wants to try to get the bishop out, but white is not going to let him. Rook c6, keeping the bishop imprisoned. King h7. Black has to do something. And note that he can't really move the rook, because then we would simply penetrate on the 8th rank. Give you a pin there that you're not getting out of. g3, taking away this square. And this frees the bishop to go to a5. f6, bishop a5. The rook has to stay on the 8th rank. Now rook e6. King g2 was a good move as well, but the point here is that if you take, once again, you have no squares for your bishop, and rook e8 is coming with deadly effect. So black tried to keep the rook on the 8th. He played rook to f8, but white just kept on the domination. Rook e7, king g6, rook c6, h5. Okay, black tries to trade some pawns to do something. King g2, h4, bishop to b4, takes, rook d8. So black is just temporizing. He can't really do anything. Bishop goes to c5, king h6, a4, king g6. Black just temporizes, not much to do. Now a5. Black stopped it. He played a6. And now rook c to e6, hinting at maybe playing rook e8, but we can't do it yet because of bishop c7. And in fact, here on move 37, Bjorn played king f3, and he told me afterwards that he was just going to make move 40 by playing this, 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 and just go in a circle, make a diamond, and establish the full domination, and then find the win. After king g6, he kept on going with the plan, but black played rook f8. Now he took the rook away from d8, so that means that he no longer has bishop c7, protecting the rook. So rook e8 was played. So after rook e8, the game was basically over. Black resigned here. I'm not sure if king f7 was played after resigning or he played king f7 and resigned. Nonetheless, position is completely lost. We're going to take over the 8th rank and win the game. Beautiful domination.